metallic parts.
Good shooting shift, you just saw the light.
Right. The first, it was a completely clean cut light. There was no fall to it or anything. It was a beautiful brilliance to it. It was clear. And as though it was setting on it, or as though this suspended it or whatever happened. I don't know what piece of it. But when it would go past us on the south side, and then start back, when you looked out, you could get the same angle only from the other side of this ship, or whatever you want to call it. But that's the metallic part that you can see. You see it very plain, and it's like an aluminum top that's been used for a while. It's definitely a silver color, but it wasn't like chrome or anything. Silver color, but it wasn't polished silver. You know, it was like smoky silver. You know, it's dull silver, or gray silver. But you can see it very plain.
I'm going to try.
Well, it seemed like the nose part of this thing, like when it was going, it seemed like this, when it was going forward, the nose part would be down, and like the light part of this outer rim, or the center of it, was reflecting up on it against the face part. It seemed like if you wanted to go forward, it would go at an angle like this. If you wanted to go straight up, it would level out. And then to go to the right, just like it's going to make a right angle, it was just like a spin.
Did you ever do this?
No, it never started.
Didn't zigzag?
It was all beautiful maneuvers. They were clean. There was no washout in them at all.
Ever go up or down, sideways?
They made climb for altitude in Canfield. When we first seen it, it climbed for altitude about 500 feet. It maintained that for quite a while. We got over Berlin Reservoir, and it went up some more. I'd say probably picked up another 250, 300 feet. It was on the north side of the road the last time. When we got to Canfield, it went up to about, I'd say pretty close to 2,000 feet, because it was getting up there pretty good. After it cleared the area of Canfield over the city part, in the outskirts when we were going through it, it came back down going into Indiana County to about, I'd say 1,500 feet, maybe 1,000, 1,500. Right along there, by then we covered quite a bit of ground. And I suppose right along that area, this time about 1,000 or 1,500 feet is where we picked up the other car, in Houston. No, sir. This was out East Palestine. This was the second car.
Would you two gentlemen mind leaving for a few minutes? I didn't tell you all he knows about. When you gentlemen first saw this thing, how low was it on the ground?
Well, when we first seen it, actually it came up behind us. See, Bob radioed first. They make a long story short. Summit County Sheriff's Office radioed. We have, it's all 3958 inside. And we were first on monitor all traffic in my car. And Bob was talking to Summit County, and Summit County told him that this object had been seen, and the lady had just called in and said there was this real huge bright object, higher than a street light and lower than an airplane. And you get quite a few calls in the police business. And actually, we were working on a traffic accident. We had just finished the reports, and we paid not very much, very little attention to it, if any. And I heard Bob tell the other operator, the lady must have drank too much, forget it. So we finished up, and the men from the power company, they're handling the hot wires on the line that had been going on. We went down to a restaurant at the corner of Deerfield and picked up 3 cups of coffee. We came back up and we gave the man in the power truck a cup of coffee. Since it was pretty cool out. And we each had one and we were drinking as we went. You know, we just tear a hole in the plastic lid so that you can kind of sip as you go along. And while we were sitting there talking to him, well, there was more traffic than the radio company. Excuse me. And so the guy in the truck, he made a couple of comments, you know, and I said, well, maybe the moon's changing, you know, somebody, weird ones are out tonight, something to this effect. And so we started east on 224. We were going to come over to the Brimfield Margaret area, which we have a lot of businesses, shopping plazas, a couple, 3 banks, and stuff that we keep a pretty close eye on. We control all the buildings. So we were starting back across 224, and we got about 1.5 to 2 miles east of 183 on 224, and we passed an old 40, the side road, 5940, and so I told him we'd best check it out. We went up the road, we made a U-turn, came in behind the car. We both, at this point, this is all standard work. I mean, it's the same with any department. He gets out the right side, I got out the left side. He goes to the right front corner of the cruiser, which is where he stops, sort of an insurance policy. I got out the left, and I went to the left rear of the other vehicle. I turned to make just a sort of visual observation of the area to make sure nobody walked in the woods, you know, to take a leak or something. And I always look behind him, so no one can come up behind me. And when I looked in this wooded area behind us, I saw this thing. At this time it was coming up. There was a slight raise there. It went up to about treetop level, I'd say about 100 foot or less. It started moving towards us. At this time he's still looking straight ahead. As it came over the trees, I looked at Marty and he was still watching the car. I mean, the car in front of us. And he didn't say nothing, and the thing kept getting brighter, and the area started getting light. And I looked at Barney, he's still not saying anything, and I told him to look over his shoulder. And so he did, and he didn't say nothing. He just stood there with his mouth open for a minute, and as bright as it was, and he looked down. And I started looking down, and I looked at my hands, and my clothes weren't burning or anything, and it stopped right over top of us. The only sound in the whole area was a hum. And it would just change a little bit. It wasn't anything screaming or real wild. And, but you sound like a transformer being loaded, or the overloaded transformer when it changes.
Like an AC hum, something like that?
Yeah. No, it was like when you load it, when it changes, like, I don't know exactly. You remember the old pitch pipe in the school, the teacher blows it and then she moves up one notch on it?
Yes. You
remember when you were singing something? You sing God Bless America, that seems a long time. Anyway, I don't know exactly how long. I was pretty scared for a couple of minutes. As a matter of fact, I was petrified. And so I moved my right foot, and everything seemed to work all right. And evidently he made the same decision that I did, was to get something between me and it, or us and it, or whatever you would say. So we both went to the car. We got in the car, and we sat there. I wouldn't even venture if it was 10 seconds, 30 seconds, or 3 minutes. I just know we...
Okay, let's back to the top.
Right.
So where it's set in the east. So let's just say it was going east and set. How long did that take?
It just moved right up and stopped. It didn't go any distance. It wasn't 250 feet in front of the car. And everything was lit up. It was real bright. It was low. And at this time, if I had to describe it, I said it just looks like a